I turned my head at the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. Oh! Oh! I was not expecting you! Greetings, my beautiful viewers. I am the Hunter of Comedy, and welcome back to The Letter. So, I think I significantly freaked out last time because I am making not the best of choices. Well, Isabella isn't making the best of choices, but at the same time, we have yet another choice ahead of us this time because we chose to go to the movies instead of going home. And because whenever you're being haunted by a ghost, it's better to be around lots of people because then they're less frequent. But the point is that now we have another choice to make. We can either go with, like, an exorcist or a professor. I think the professor is the better choice. Between episodes, that's kind of what I came up with. So what do you think?
It's your call. We'll go with whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm still not doing so good with this. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so I've already decided I think that the best choice in this situation is to meet with the professor instead of the priest. Because the professor is someone that both Ash and what's her name? Becca know and like. And I may run the risk of making Zachary a little upset, but you know what? Let's try this.
I'll think about it, but if ever, I'd like to give talking to Andrew a try.
Oh, okay. Just Ashton went up. I still pissed off Becca. I'm sorry, Becca.
Is that okay? Won't he have other things to do?
Most people do, but this is why you hire them.
He is a bit busy, but he'll make time for me. He's my go-to person when I'm stuck in something.
Okay.
He won't mind if I bring a friend with me this time.
If you're sure.
I guess that settles it then.
Guys, I said keep it down. You keep insisting that we still watch it. You're not even paying attention yourselves.
It ain't a big deal, Rebecca. I'm the one who broached the subject in the first place.
It's still your film, Zachary. A good film, mind you. You worked hard on this.
Yes. Film about slavery is what it looks like. That seems... I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't make films about slavery because, you know, knowing our history and everything is definitely good. But at the same time, I mean... I don't know, like, this one picture, like, they could have chosen a better picture.
The least we could do is watch it with you.
And that's what you're all doing. I really appreciate all of you making time for this.
Sorry, Becca. We'll stop now.
I throw her an apologetic look, even if Ash is the only one she should be reprimanding, but her attention is already back on the screen. She's ignoring us again. When Becca's acting this way, there's a big chance something's nagging her. We really need to talk. We all fall into a comfortable silence after, the kind you can only share with people you're most at ease with. Oh, I have that with my friends. That's wonderful. For the first time today, the letter lays forgotten in my bag, if only for a few hours. It will become the forefront of everyone's minds very, very soon, I think. Alright, night has fallen by the time we exit the movie theater, and there is more to the 21st. Luxburn Independent Film and Theater Festival celebrates its 9th year discovering new creative talents in the film industry. Included in the few showcased this year are Zachary Steele's Blue Fonts? Dark Times of the Black British? Oh. Isabella Santos, Ashton Frey, and Rebecca Gales were also amongst the crowd for its premiere. Okay, cool. QQ. I love how it's like the point of no return, and I'm like, that's where I'm at right now. Despite the late hours, pardon me, despite the late hour, the streets are still bustling, full of people. Those about to head home, those set to meet someone, even those simply wandering about. Walking in this sea of unfamiliar souls, it strikes me how easy it is for one to get lost in a city as nondescript as Luxborn. I was afraid, too, at one point back when I was new and had just set foot in this place. Now, with familiar faces walking with me, it feels a little like home. Zack and Ash bid us goodbye shortly before Becca and I crossed to the other side of the street. The former claiming he's got a few freelance jobs to take care of before the end of the day. And Ash? Who knows, he never tells. Sometimes he'll just randomly appear at your doorstep looking for a place to crash. He does that to Zack a lot, but much to the latter's frustration. But he's a busy guy too, in spite of the laid-back air he gives off.
Thanks for today, everyone!
Oh, bye, Zack! I love you! You're amazing, you're best boy!
No problem, Zack. I'm sorry for what happened earlier.
Dear God!
Huh?
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no! No. No, I don't think I can. A sensation. Cold, sickening, drowning. My chest tightening. Breathing, becoming labored. I can taste blood in my mouth. The edge of my vision blurs. In the distance, amongst the countless nameless people going about their lives, a voice reaches out to me. Oh no, no. This is very bad. Pleading, even as I clench my eyes tight and clasp my hands over my ears. Whispering and whispering and whispering. Calling out. Okay, I'm significantly freaked out then.
No, not me.
Somebody. Oh no!
Isabella? Earth to Isabella?
At her voice, the whole world suddenly snaps into place, the murmurs gone. When I open my eyes, Becca raises an eyebrow at me in question.
Weren't you listening? Are you coming with me?
Oh, yeah. Just, okay. Sorry, I spaced out.
You always do that.
I follow her without complaint, but not before sneaking a glance at the far end of the street. Where the voice came from, where another set of eyes might be staring at me. Nothing. There's only Zack and Ash watching over us as we head back to where Becca parked her car. If I'm expecting to see something or someone there, I'm not trying to let it show. Try not to think of the tiny pricks of fear crawling at the pit of my stomach.
See you guys some other time.
Bye, Zack, I love you!
Yeah, see ya!
Bye! Bye, Ashhole, you haven't said anything. Another glance. With a final wave, we go off our own ways. I don't know what I saw. I don't know what I heard. I don't want to know. And if this is what would help me sleep tonight, what would give me back the normalcy in my life, then so be it. Okay, so we made it through day one. Darkness closes around me, grasping, pulling, engulfing me. The ground caves in, and without warning, I'm falling. Ooh, my eyes snap open. Well, that's a CRTV, so that is definitely like a... So I'm just noticing this. I'm sorry, I just look at this. This seems to be like 4 pictures like stapled together. They don't look like they're all in the same picture. I can't tell, because like it looks like rough edges there and like rough edges there. It's hard to tell. It may just be one picture, it may not be. Why do you have a cat bat like pillow? I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying it's weird. News Channel 8. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the things here. Her with Becca, okay. My eyes snap open. For an instant, it doesn't immediately register where I am. Both my back and shoulders ache after I've fallen asleep all hunched up the night before. Drenched in sweat, The nest of pillows I often keep around me feels more suffocating than comforting. I let my eyes adjust to the bright morning light streaming through the window and allow my breathing to slow down before untangling myself from the pile. I haven't had a single dream since coming to Luxborn, or at least none I can recall having. It's a shame because they used to be so vivid. Not like the crazy vivid, but like the more pleasant kind I'll tell my siblings about. Maybe it's just the stress of living alone? The knowledge that I'll always wake up in an empty apartment with no one to tell stories to.
What time is it?
It's 5, apparently. Habit forces me to look over at the clock, even with the soreness weighing heavily on my shoulders and the compulsion to never leave my bed for the day. In a heartbeat, I'm up.
Oh man, of all the times to oversleep. Towel? Where's my towel?
It's 5 a.m. That's oversleeping? Okay. Admittedly, it's a weekend, as an unspoken rule that entitles me to extra hours of sleep. That is how that works. But if Rose didn't kill me yesterday, she sure as hell will now. And right after what happened. Oh lord, 1 box of donuts as peace offering won't be enough the second time around. Grabbing my towel, I'm already a few short steps away from the bathroom when a muffled ringing breaks out from my bag. There's a moment of indecision at first, my mind conflicted whether I should just ignore it or answer it. But what if it's Rose? Or worse, our boss! Ah, sheesh. In the end, the rational part of my brain wins out. The letter from yesterday peeks out when I pulled the device out. Just the sight of it is enough to put me in a foul mood, and it takes every force of will for me to ignore it in favor of answering the call. Mama! It's Mama! ID caller says Mama.
Huh?
It's around 4:45 p.m. in the Philippines right now.
That's an unusual time for them to call.
Usually it's around noon, and I'm the one calling, not the other way around. Better for them to use that money on something else rather than an international call. Regardless, in the most cheerful tone I can gather...
Hello?
Hello? Grace? How are you?
Mama! I'm doing okay. How are you guys over there?
We're good. EJ won a storytelling contest at school the other week. Brought home a medal. I thought you should know.
There's a tired lilt in her voice as she speaks. It's been there since Papa had to leave his job. I wish there's something I can do for her. But from miles away like this, the least I'm able to do is not make her worry. If only my older brother would actually lend her a hand, but Lord knows if that'll ever happen. Odds are Kuya Jordan's already out drinking right now. Again. I can't count on my older sister either, knowing she has a family of her own, and, well... 8 Anne's financials? I think it's supposed to be Aunt. Aunt Anne's financial situation isn't exactly great right now, having run herself knee-deep in debt. Ugh.
Great! That's great! Tell him congratulations from me. And let him know I'm gonna send him a little something extra this Christmas. How about Nico? Karen? Michael? I hope they're okay?
They're doing well. They wanted to talk to you, but they're all busy with school.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't want to bother them. Just tell them to keep doing their best for me. I'll just call back when I know they're not busy. And Papa? How's Papa doing?
It's a subject I'm a bit hesitant to broach from the way Mama's voice hitches. She doesn't want to bring it up either.
Papa... Grace, he's having a little difficulty right now. Weak appetite, he's having trouble swallowing, and lost a few pounds, but the doctor said we should keep encouraging him. It just means his body's accepting his new treatment well.
Oh my god, he has cancer. That's what it is. That must be what it is. That's why she's here making money and sending it back to her family. Oh my god.
The money you sent last time helped a lot to pay for it, by the way.
Oh, I see. That's good.
I won't deny that life has gotten tougher for our family. It used to be easy back when Papa was in good shape. But ever since he was diagnosed with a sickness 5 years ago, he's been unable to provide for us. Now the burden of feeding 8 mouths and settling Papa's bills all rests on my shoulders. Okay, you have 2 other older siblings. Why the fuck can't they help out? They don't seem like they should not be doing this. Although Mama makes a little accepting sewing and laundry jobs in our neighborhood, it's scarcely enough to cover the costs of day-to-day living, let alone the bloating hospital bills. We can't even expect help from our own government, because the health insurance there barely covers anything.
I'm sure he'll get better soon. Is he well enough to talk? Do you think I'll be able to speak to him, Ma?
Silence. I start to think the call got cut until...
Listen, Grace, maybe it's better if we transfer Papa to a different hospital. Somewhere cheaper?
What? Why? Did something happen? Is it the deposit issue again? Give me the hospital's number. I'll talk to them.
No, it's nothing bad. The service here is good. Too good. Even the doctors. But I'm worried you're working yourself to the ground because of it.
Mama, we've been through this before. I want the best for Papa. And don't worry about the bills or the medicine, or me for that matter.
She's a mother. She's gonna worry about you. That's just a thing that's gonna happen.
I can handle myself. Everything's going well here. In fact, we're about to close a large sale.
Hopefully. If not, then I'll find another way. I got 2 kidneys. I only need 1. She doesn't need to know that. Sorry, Mama. You taught me not to lie, yet look at what I'm doing. You're not lying.
I'll have money to send over soon to cover the rest of Papa's treatment. And there's more than enough for Karen, Nico, Michael, and EJ's school tuition, too.
Thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. We all do. But I just wish you'd come home to us soon.
Aww. Kalankauwi? When are you coming home? EJ, the youngest, used to be the only person asking me. How do you respond to a question you don't have a definite answer to? 5 years later, and I still can't give them a straight one. I smile, though Mama can't see it. Fight to keep my lips from quivering, my voice from shaking. She's got enough on her plate as it is. No need to weigh her down with unnecessary concerns. Like the fact that a maniacal ghost is trying to kill me and that I'm about to be the protagonist of a horrible horror story. Those are things you would definitely not tell your mother. I mean, if I ever found myself in, crazy trouble like Isabella is, I wouldn't tell my mom. I wouldn't tell her. I'd be like, yeah, Mom, everything's fine, as I'm, nailing my door shut to keep the zombies out.
Promise me you'll be there to welcome me when I do, okay?
Of course. I'm sorry, Grace. I need to take this for a while.
There's a small commotion on the other end. Sound of gates opening, voice of a child, EJ, talking excitedly about his school day and the tapping of feet on the floorboards as he runs. It's been years since I went home, but I can still picture the whole scene in my mind. How tall is he now? Are the neighborhood kids bullying him now that I'm not around? Did Mama rearrange the furniture in the living room again? What are they having for dinner today? I miss them. I miss them so much.
It's okay, Ma. I need to go too. I've got work today. I'll call again soon, alright?
On a Saturday? Oh, never mind. Take care of yourself, dear. I love you.
I love you. Bye.
Aww. It ends with a soft click, leaving half-truths and empty promises hanging in the air. Oh, right, we're on this day. Oh, that is a big family. Isabella received an unexpected call from her family back in the Philippines. An emotional moment. Her mother informed her of her father's deteriorating condition despite treatments. Nevertheless, the young woman assured her and continued to work to be able to support all of them. Sad face. I close my eyes for a moment. I take a deep breath and shake away the thoughts beginning to swim inside my head. It's pointless to mull over these things right now. I don't like the fact the screen is dark. I'm backing away. I don't know if you can tell on my voice, but I'm backing away.
Okay, Isabella. Time to get that mansion sold.
Yes! Go back to the creepy mansion! Don't! That's a bad plan. Unfortunately, before I can take a single step away from my phone, it rings again. I doubt Mama forgot to say something.
Mama? Did you forget anything?
Excuse you? I'm too young to be your mom. Are you still sleeping? Hold on, never mind that. Get yourself in the office. Hurry!
Office? What about the open house? Oh no. Is it Sir John? Did he hear about yesterday? Am I in trouble? Oh god, oh god, oh god! I'm gonna get yelled at, aren't I? What do I do? I'll buy you an extra box of donuts if—
No, it's nothing like that. Will you calm down? Get yourself here, all right? I'll tell you everything then.
There's a telltale din of several feet shuffling against wooden flooring, and an indistinct yelling in the background before Rose cuts the connection. That isn't in any way comforting. But it's enough reason for me to hastily discard my phone and finish my shower in record time. I make my way to our office within 20 minutes, and leaving my apartment. I cannot read today. I make it to our office within 20 minutes of leaving my apartment, completely disheveled and out of breath. A feat, if I take into account my usual travel time. Routine clamor, common to Briar Realty Corporation Luxburn office, greets me as soon as my feet cross the threshold. Papers rustling, telephones ringing at sporadic intervals, agents talking at varying volumes, staff moving about, and...
Where the hell is C? Where are my employees? What the actual fuck, guys? Of all the times to disappear without notice.
Hello, Sir John! You seem like an asshole! Look, it's the name of the game company! Oh, God! My boss's words turn muffled as someone else closes the door to his office, likely the work of our HR manager. Throughout the past weeks, he's been in a bad mood over a few employees who have failed to report to work. I hear they're still trying to get a hold of them, but to no avail. The result is half their workload has been shifted to all available staff as to not lose clients. Not that I mind the extra work. If anything, it means I'll have more to send to my family back home. Although the rumors of a branch closure circulating because of this is indeed a bit worrisome. My bag barely touches the top of my table when Rose pulls me aside.
Here, I need you to help me with these papers. If you could also get these signed and photocopied before lunch today, that would be great.
One after another, she thrusts a bunch of paperwork in my hands without explanation. A page flutters away from atop the pile. I lean out to pick it up, my eyes scanning the top of the page as I straighten. A purchase and sale agreement. Rose simply gestures her thumb in the direction of our visitor lounge when I tilt my head in question. There, seated on the sofa and looking completely out of place in the humble, decorative room, is the same couple from the day before. The Wrights. Something bubbles up in my throat. Their presence in the office can only mean one thing.
They're buying it? We got a deal?
She swats at my hand, tugging her sleeve, although her eyes are alight with something akin to joy. She wants this sale to happen as much as I do, and now that it's here... the deal needs to be closed yet, documents need to be signed still, but the elation is there. Along with a foreboding feeling I can't quite pinpoint.
I had to do a little damage control, but they're already interested in acquiring the property, even before they attended the open house. I mean, isn't it obvious? They already hired an interior designer. I've never seen a buyer as aggressive as Madam Wright. She didn't even try to negotiate a lower rate.
Oh!
One at a time, Rose. I can't process everything you're saying at once. What do you mean?
They're paying 15% higher than the listing price. As long as we get the paperwork done as soon as possible. I think if we allow it, they'll be paying up front, too.
Even with that urban legend?
Oh, Rose nods!
I was so sure we lost the sale after yesterday.
Why? They seemed very, very eager to buy it despite you feeling sick. Like, nothing seemed that bad.
Don't look so surprised. We still have to conduct some last few checks before we completely hand it over to them.
Please. I'll happily do the paperwork duty, Rose. I'll even go to the land registry myself and make sure the property changes hands with every single legal blessing.
Don't they have better things to spend money on? I'd haggle it down to the lowest price possible if we were in their place, especially with the stories attached to it. Not that my opinion matters one bit here. We're just their agents who are going to receive the hefty commission after all, nothing more. Rose gives me a pat on the shoulder, signaling that she's heading back to them, and an unspoken instruction for me to follow after I'm done. Doesn't take long to finish what work she had. Come on, Brandon, focus up. You got this. You can read. You can read. Like, that says exit. That says yang yang. These say other words. We're going to read them. There's a Gundam over there. I didn't notice the Gundam. It doesn't take me long to finish what work she left me. In fact, having our boss sign the agreement is the easiest, since it has put him in a better mood to the entire office's relief. Ma'am Hannah calls me over the moment she notices my presence at the lounge door. Oh, the story's updated. She welcomes me with a bright smile, her movements more open than what one would typically expect from a passing client to have.
Oh, Isabel, how are you feeling? You looked awfully dreadful yesterday.
I was! There was a ghost in your new house!
Isabella, I'm fine now, ma'am. I appreciate your concern.
I really don't understand why they can't get my name right. It's a fairly common name. It shouldn't be too hard to remember. Regardless, I hand them their copy of the agreement.
Wonderful. Your team works unbelievably fast.
We work hard here. Ma'am Hannah skims through each of them with a scrutinizing eye, checking every page for any inconsistencies and errors. Despite the unassuming impression she gives off, she appears fully aware of what to look for, and the process contracts like these undergoes. That's a weird sentence. It is surprising, to be quite honest. I hadn't pegged her for someone who is well versed in these things, yet here she is. She shows some of it to her husband, and he responds with the same passive interest as if he's more than happy to leave everything to her. I can't tell if it is purely because he believes she's capable enough, doesn't care about what they're buying, or if he simply finds paperwork tedious. It's probably a mixture of all three. Apparently satisfied with what she's seen, Ma'am Hannah claps her hands together before extending it to us for a shake. Rose and I release the breath we've been holding, both of us more than happy to return the gesture.
That settles it then?
Are you really sure about this property, ma'am?
Don't say that! Why would you say that? If they want to buy the creepy, haunted house, let them!
We could easily find you a bigger one among our current listings. Something with a modern touch?
Something not haunted, perhaps? Rose shoots me a warning glance that says, "Don't make a scene, we're almost there!"
Of course, why wouldn't I be?
You're right! Just Isabella, shut up!
The house is absolutely perfect, isn't it, darling?
A helipad would still be a nice addition.
Yes, well, we'll get there eventually, love. As I was saying, if your partner had the documents yesterday, we would have bought it right there immediately. Shame she didn't have it.
Well, there's still a few necessary documents we need you to sign after, but we'll let you know once we have those finalized. We'll be handling the process for the rest, so don't worry about it, ma'am.
Within a week, I hope. We still have a housewarming party to plan after all. You know how much thought should be put into those things.
There are servants for that, darling.
Love, wouldn't it be better if we handled it ourselves? A personal touch of sorts. It is our housewarming party and our new home.
No more than a week, ma'am. Barring unexpected delay, of course. You can leave it to us.
Excellent. Well then, I'll leave you two to it. It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
And it's been a pleasure taking your money, Rose, from, literally, this girl looks like frickin' Rose from Titanic, even with the heart of the ocean. I said that last episode. And that guy reminds me of, a well-suited, Jack, a well-suited Leonardo DiCaprio. If that's who they're based off of, I would just laugh. Although I would be very happy with that. That's a funny thing to put in here.
Oh, and before we forget...
She discreetly folds something into both our hands and winks, a finger raised to her lips, demanding our silence.
I know both of you worked hard on getting us this beautiful mansion.
Oh, money!
Did I mention we reward our people generously?
Yes, you did.
But this is... Ma'am, I can't accept this.
Don't you worry, darling. It's a small thing coming from us. Consider this your bonus for a job well done.
She smiles sweetly like this is simply the most normal thing to do in the world. Which, here's the thing. Here's something I'm gonna say. I have also been very, very fortunate enough that when I used to work retail, I worked for a place that did not allow us to have tips. Because in retail, they're like, no, you're above tips. How dare you take a tip? But no, when you work really hard and someone wants to give you a little bit of extra money, there is nothing wrong with that. Now, like, buying out, like, someone, like, to change a price or something, yeah, that's wrong. But, like, you know, there was one time this lady who I helped her with a lot of stuff, and I worked at a place that's on commission, and I told her, like, I'm sorry, man, I can't take tips. However, I told her that if I find some money on the ground and no one claims it, of course it's mine. And so she dropped a little bit of money on the ground, and I picked it up. And I've done this before. It's kind of like a secret thing I used to do. And then it was a $100 bill. This lady, who obviously had lots of money because she bought a very expensive, like, television, speaker sets, a bunch of stuff. She bought a bunch of stuff. She basically dropped $100 to me. And I felt guilty because I was like, I don't think I'm worth $100. So I said, ma'am, I think that you may have dropped it. She goes, nope, I didn't drop that. I guess it's yours now. And it was so nice. So these people, like, you know, giving us a little bit of extra money, even if it's like fringe benefits and nearly on the side, and you really probably shouldn't, it's still fine if you do. I'm not upset with her for that.
Oh, before I forget, my lovely interior designer would appreciate it if you hand her a copy of the floor plans as soon as possible. She's dying to work on the house.
Oh, Miss McCulloch! I love Miss McCulloch!
You can do that, yes? Here's her contact.
Certainly, ma'am. We'll have it processed as soon as possible.
I knew I could count on you, lovelies. I hope to see you two soon so we can get this closed.
Me too. Just like that, the transaction over and done with. My mind's still reeling, even after they've left. Other agents would kill to have clients like them, I know! I just told you a whole story about how I would love it. Part of me feels lucky about the fact. No lengthy negotiations, no sudden change of minds, just talk, signatures, a few handshakes here and there, and we're done! The other part? A second ago, we sold a haunted property to 2 innocent clients. Guess what? That's their problem now! Yeah, and you know, here's the thing. You warned them. You were like, despite the rumors and everything, you still want this house. Are you sure? Yes, we do. Okay. You accept full compensation for the house, then? Sure, the commission's big. Big enough to continue funding Papa's treatment and hospitalization. Big enough to pay for all 4 of my siblings' schooling. Heck, it'll keep me away from instant noodle diets for months. I don't have to go back to the mansion as well once the deal has been closed, much to my sanity's relief. But knowing that something's there and we gave it to a good couple despite that? Oh, Isabella, the things you do to sell a house and get money. Papa won't be happy with that. At least I have good news to tell next time I call home. Little lie I told Mom this morning isn't a lie anymore.
Well, there's something. So how does it feel?
How does what feel?
Your first big multi-million-pound sale, silly. I know you've been with us for years, but this has got to be memorable for you.
Memorable is an understatement, Rose.
Come on, show some enthusiasm. They gave us a bonus, too. Aside from the commission and the other bonus boss promised. What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. Send it home, probably?
All of it?
Not everything, of course. Most of it. I'll leave some for my living expenses.
Listen here, Isabella. I'll teach you something I should have told you before we ended your training.
She slings an arm over my shoulders and leans in closer to my ear, as though she's about to share a big secret.
It's okay to celebrate from time to time.
I don't get it.
It's simple. Go out, do something for yourself. Throw a party and treat your friends to free food.
That is what I would do. That is fantastic.
Didn't you say the last one's some sort of tradition back at home for you? Hello, this is practically a done deal.
Yeah.
Isn't throwing a party a bit excessive?
Your call. I won't say no to an invitation, by the way, in case you really are planning to throw one. A few drinks would be nice too, thank you very much.
I don't think my apartment's big enough for that.
You could always move? Bloody hell, you're working in real estate.
I think I'll pass. That's too much of an unnecessary expense for me. But I did promise Becca free lunch in case the sale goes well.
You go do that. Hold on a sec.
She quickly removes herself from me to answer the phone on her desk. Her tone shifts from playful to professional in a span of a few moments, as you do in business.
Today? Not a problem, ma'am. I could bring you a copy of the contract if...
Must be another client. Nothing surprising there. She's one of BRC's top agents, no matter how modest she appears. Saleswoman through and through. I, on the other hand, have very little knack for it. Of course, I learned. Eventually. I had to. But someone else will, without a doubt, do a better job. Of course, though, in a drunken stupor, Rose told me a story of what could have been. Years ago, wide-eyed, young, and brimming with yet-to-be-fulfilled dreams and ambitions, she was a term or two away from a nursing degree. Out of courtesy, I never passed on the matter further. But perhaps it's where the sense of fondness started. A small connection due to one similar experience in our respective lives, of goals both let pass us by because of the circumstances we're living in.
I'd be happy to discuss this over tea, ma'am. All right, I'll be there. Thank you.
New client?
Reassigned. Have you heard from Mark at all?
Not since the first visit to the mansion. Why? No news from the HR yet?
None at all. Boss thinks he ran away.
I think he's dead. I think Mark is dead because Mark went to the mansion and now dead.
I doubt it, though. He's too much of a wimp for that. There must be another reason. Who knows?
He's dead.
Anyway, I've got to meet this one. I'll see you later.
Mark is dead. I know you can't hear me, but Mark is dead. Isabella, Mark is dead. She throws a wave over her shoulder as she rushes out of the office. Lunchtime bell sounds shortly after, followed by the chatter of fellow agents also heading out for a much-needed break. Ordinarily, there's no need for me to go out. But oversleeping didn't allow me the luxury of packing my own lunch today. If one considers taking an instant noodle cup from my pantry, packing your lunch. Time to make good on the promise I made to Becca, I suppose. Maybe invite Zach and Ash, too? In the end, only Becca and Zach could come. Ash, on the other hand, couldn't be reached. All of my calls went straight to his voicemail. He's at it again, right here today, gone the next day. Oh well, his loss. We've agreed to meet at a nearby cafe, the same one I frequent with Becca because it's cheap and they give away free bread around closing time. Are we going to Zarbucks? I would like to go to Zarbucks. We're in Zarbucks! I knew it! Quaint. A little old-fashioned, though looks a wee bit out of place amid the city's tall buildings, but we love it all the same. Much like its facade, the interior carries an antiquated charm to it. Vintage art pieces and a row of shelves boasting an extensive collection of books cover the walls. It is a nice restaurant. I would eat there. It would have been nice to hang out here for hours on end, even on a weekend. The place is still packed with people. Thankfully, Becca and Zach have already found seats and are engaged in the same usual chatter when I arrive. It's strange seeing the two of them without Ash accompanying the other. They've never been particularly close. Sure, they talk when they meet, laugh at the same things when there's something funny, but there's distance, the kind born purely out of differing interests. That, or Zach's simply afraid of Becca. She's very intimidating, I'm not surprised. It's not impossible. I won't blame him if he is. He might be the tallest in our group, but everyone knows that it means nothing against Becca's temper. I just noticed that the cat has a cross on its head. Or is that a rabbit? I think that's a rabbit. That's a weird picture I just noticed. That looks like either a vase or an angel. I can't tell. There's a lot of, religious motifs in this game. Not that I'm upset. Either the creator is going with a certain aesthetic, or they may be, Catholic or, Christian themselves. Either way, I don't know, but I am liking this little theme and aesthetic that they've got going on. It's interesting. Even I'm a little scared of her.
Zach! Becca!
Well, you seem to be in a better mood today. What happened? I know that smile, Belle. Come on, still.
Don't rush me. Let's order food first, okay?
A waitress comes by to take our order. In a Zarbucks? Really? On a normal day, me and Becca will order a hearty serving of their special vegetarian stovies. Zach takes anything with a good helping of meat, sausages, or potatoes in it. But today's a good day. Great, even. It's not wrong to indulge a little, right?
Today's special. For the three of us.
Oh, Even the person jotting down our order looks surprised at today's meal choices. She writes it, nevertheless, and leaves without a comment. Becca furrows her brows, her mouth halfway open, ready to let loose what's likely a string of reprimands.
Don't worry. It's my treat.
The glare she sends my way reminds me of the one I received from Mama when I punched a kid bullying my brother 18 years ago. Naturally, I never did it again after she made me apologize the next day. Although that guy fucking deserved it, I bet. But Becca's far from being my mom. A small sheepish grin is enough to turn that frown into a defeated sigh. Food arrives in the middle of a funny story from Zach, putting the rest of the conversation on hold as we stare into each other's eyes longingly. Oh, Zach! Zach! I love you. I love you, Zach. As we are each served our order. It isn't anything fancy. Oh, that looks fancy! Pan-roasted sea bass with a citrus-dressed asparagus and a portion of mashed potatoes on the side. Or at least that's what the Daily Special Board says. I never did pay attention to it whenever I came here, since they price whatever is written way above what I'm willing to spend on food on a single day.
Oh, good. I'm so hungry, I think I'm dying.
You're always hungry.
This is true, I am, Zach.
Hey! Not all the time.
Most of the time, yes, though.
Let me guess. You skipped breakfast again.
Not on purpose. But yes, you're not wrong.
Not on purpose.
Hey!
I may have overslept by a few seconds today.
Hooray! I was right.
Right then. Stop stalling, Isabella. What's this about?
Let us say it, Rebecca. She wouldn't be inviting us out if it wasn't worth hearing out.
Well, we're waiting.
I'm treating you guys to a once-in-a-century thing.
An expectant grin breaks out on my face, except...
I'm sorry, say that again.
And this is important because...
Becca only raises an eyebrow at me, while Zach appears like he didn't get the punchline to another lame joke Ash made, and is desperately searching for someone to explain it. Ash is not here, so we should celebrate. My instant noodle days are over!
Let me do that again.
Yay! Becca's friendship went back up! It's not great, but it's better!
Guess what, guys? I'm paying! I sold the house!
As the news sinks in, their expressions goes from sheer bewilderment to utter surprise. Now that's more like it.
You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. As of today, I'm Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos and free from my instant noodle binge.
I love that you have 5 names. I am gonna bring it up in every episode. In every episode, I will bring up how her full name is Maria Isabella Grace Cruz Santos. Because goddamn, why do you need 5 names? You don't, but yet she has them.
Seriously?
Hold it, Belle. You sold the house?
Yep.
Which house is this? In Anselm Village? The one with the open house yesterday?
The one and only. Come on, Becca. I know you've got a better memory than that.
Oh, wow. That's...
So it's not a hum, although she's nodding. She gives the impression of someone who has heard something unbelievable and is still forcing her brain to absorb it. Did she think we wouldn't be able to sell it? Have some faith in me, Becca! Am I not your best friend or what?
You don't believe me?
Words tumble out of my mouth before I could stop them. I'm trying to avoid bringing up yesterday's little spat, and judging from the looks on their faces, it seems they are too. Me and my stupid mouth.
I'm sure it ain't the way you're thinking, Bella.
No, I do believe you. But don't you think the sale happened a bit too fast? The open house only started yesterday, and now you already have a buyer?
It happens from time to time.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy for you. Just yesterday, you've been really worried where to get money for your dad's new treatment. And now, all of a sudden, you have something.
Then just be happy for her. Dear God, don't be upset with her. Jesus.
What if the sale doesn't push through, or I don't know, they're a fraud, or they suddenly back out? Isn't it a little too early to celebrate?
Rebecca does have a point, Bella. If you haven't closed the deal yet, there's still a chance they'll go back on it.
They don't seem like it to me. The lady appeared to really want it, and she approached me without even finishing the tour.
Pressured me into it, more like. But I'm not going to tell Becca about that. Knowing her, she'd only worry.
And she already hired someone to handle the house's interior design.
You're joking. Who would do that?
Rich people! Crazy rich people!
The Wrights, apparently. It's actually pretty funny. She's a bit too excited to get the property, she forgot to buy it. At any rate, they've already signed the agreement today, so it's just a matter of time. And don't tell anyone about this, but Ma'am Hannah also gave us something extra.
Something as in...
As in, it's why I can treat you two to a free meal.
I'm more surprised you accepted it.
She didn't really give us a choice in the matter. So don't lose sleep over this, okay? The couple really want the house. If Rose didn't stop them, they'd likely have paid up front for it yesterday. That's despite the legends, too. I even tried to show them the letter. But nope. I want this house, darling. Go take all our money.
Go take all our money! God, I love Isabella because she acts a lot like the way I act.
You don't really think they'd believe that, do you? I'm pretty sure for them, those are just rumors as well. No one is that superstitious in this day and age, Belle.
Bullshit!
Well, there's you.
Right. You know what? I'll just eat all of these by myself.
Yes. I begin to gather their plates to my side, the food in each still untouched. A laugh almost escapes my mouth the way Zach's expression quickly changes to disappointment. Oh, Zach, no, you can still eat. I like you. Becca too, I guess. Becca's hand interrupts me just as I'm about to pull her plate closer to me.
I'm kidding. Don't go all pouty on me again. I'm just concerned you'll get hurt if this doesn't happen. I know how badly you want to close this deal for your papa.
I'm sure he's gonna be fine now, though, with the money. They don't know yet. I think I'll call them tomorrow. Let them know things will be easier. Mama said this morning he's showing progress with the new treatment, too. It's just a matter of time.
Yep, it's all good. All good in the neighborhood. Gonna save real quick. I allow myself to smile, genuine and uninhibited. It's strange talking about this with other people, even those who have known you long enough. But today, things simply feel a whole lot lighter with them here. Lunch passes in an enjoyable fashion. A laugh here, a playful jab there, but most of it is spent on catching up and telling stories about whatever's keeping us busy these days. Something we couldn't afford to do the other day. Something we couldn't afford to do the day before, taking into account what happened. Even Becca's surprisingly chatty. Is there something in the sea bass we ate? Zach, though, appears less energetic. While he's far from being the life of the party, he's definitely not the type to keep quiet in a conversation with his friends. Apart from a few inputs, he's been silent the entire time. If Becca notices...
Are you sure you're not feeling under the weather, Zachary?
Huh? No, I'm okay. No worries, Rebecca.
Doesn't sound okay to me.
It's okay. I might be feeling a little bummed out today, but I'm sure this will pass.
Is it about the reviews this morning?
Oh no! A pained expression crosses Zach's face, and almost immediately Becca retreats in her quarry as though the man's look is enough of an answer for her. I look between the two of them. Did I miss something? What happened this morning? Did I stumble on a big secret? This is why I don't like waking up late.
You heard about those, huh?
Sorry, I just happened to check on some sites this morning.
Nah, it's a very sensitive topic in the first place. I should have expected it.
What reviews?
Becca glances at Zach, her emotions unsure, eyes asking for consent on the matter. Although there's a small desire to keep asking on my part, I don't dare voice it out. With Zach, it has always been better to wait, let him speak on his own. Becca too, to some extent, although with her, explosions of temper are more common. In the end, he simply answers with a shift of his shoulders, gesturing for her to go on with a tilt of his head.
It's his movie.
That doesn't explain anything. Stop dangling the information, Becca!
Obviously he got a bad review! Isabella, pick up on cues!
Zachary, I'm not the one supposed to be telling her about this. It's still your documentary.
Is it something bad?
Not bad per se. You guys don't need to dwell on it much.
Bad? Listen here. I wouldn't trivialize what those bowheads wrote if I were you. They're ruining other people's jobs.
From how her tone rises in anger, it seems like she's the one slighted and not Zach. A snicker escapes me, which I promptly stomp out as soon as she sends a hard look.
This isn't a laughing matter, Isabella. Some bowbag just insulted him.
Calm down, Rebecca. Those are just reviews, and it happens a lot.
I do not ken about you two, but calling the entire film an out-and-out drivel, you're better off watching an educational kids' TV show, and worst 1.5 hour of my life, among other things, isn't exactly a critique any decent movie reviewer would say.
It's very true. Most of the time, movie reviewers are very more subtle about it. Even if they don't like it, they're... I didn't ken about you two. That's weird. I don't know that phrasing.
If you could call that a critique, did we even watch the same film?
Well, maybe I ain't cut out for it.
No!
Better stick with my photography or something.
No! You don't let a bad review stop you, Zach! You're badass! You're the man! For shizzle, my nizzle! I know I'm not allowed to say that, but I'll say that for you! I love you, man! Never change, Zach! I hope Zach doesn't die. I will do my best to keep Zach alive the whole game.
If nothing else, this helped me open my eyes to what I can and can't do.
You're giving up.
It wasn't a question.
It was just something experimental I did on my free time anyway. It's no big deal.
But you worked on it for months.
Doesn't look like it matters for those people.
Don't say that!
My palm strikes the table, setting the tableware on top, clinking against each other. Didn't even notice when I rose from my seat. Here I am, chest heaving, looking down at him in the same manner a teacher would at an unruly student. Becca's probably proud. I didn't mean to yell, but there are some things people like Zach aren't supposed to say. How exasperating! He, of all people, should know!
It's just a review.
Except they're pretty well-known critics.
Yeah, but... okay, I'm gonna say this. So, Roger Ebert once said that video games are not and will never be considered art. Look at what I am playing! This is art! This is amazing! This is fucking badass! This is amazing! And Robert Ebert is saying nope, this is not art. Nope. He's dead. I shouldn't say fuck you to that guy. He's dead. But fuck people who think like that, because you know what? You always gotta do what you think is right. You always gotta do this shit. And you know what? Zach, you don't give up. You with your beautiful green eyes, you just don't give up. He and I are having a bromance, and I love it. Although Miss McCulloch is definitely best girl. McCulloch, I love her so much. Becca's growing on me a little bit, and God, my girl Izzy is doing awesome. I love this game. Even, only episode 1 has had scary shit. Well, a little bit in these last 2 episodes, but nothing huge.
Why does that matter? They aren't the ones calling the shots on this. Isn't that why they have a committee? Right, Becca?
An amused gleam is in her eyes when I turn to her. What does she find so entertaining here? Help me here! Your friend's about to quit his passion for a petty reason. I haven't read what those people wrote about his work, but a few scathing words should be enough to discourage someone. Shouldn't be enough to discourage someone? Shouldn't be enough to discourage someone. I read that wrong. I should know. After all, I'm...
Failing means you're playing, Zach. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I've seen it from start to finish, and I know for myself what you created isn't something people should scoff at.
Is it the best thing in the world? No. Did you hire Morgan Freeman? You couldn't afford him, so you got a Morgan Freeman sound-alike. That's fine. Do that next time.
I don't know anything about filming or photography. Hell, I don't have an inkling of artistry in me except for those doodles I make for class. But I know what I watched. Look at Isabella. It's not every day you see her all riled up like this.
Whatever I'm about to say gets lost in my tongue as a flush of embarrassment blooms across my face.
It was a heat of the moment thing. And anyway, I'll be very angry with you if you quit.
Yeah! Oh my god, I know who Isabella reminds me of! She looks like, Hina! Aoyasa Hina from Danganronpa! No wonder I love her so much!
What about the exhibit?
What exhibit?
Classified information.
Even if I bring you your favorite tonight?
Nope, not a chance.
Oh, come on! I thought we aren't supposed to have secrets.
Oh, a burst of laughter comes from Zach. Good.
Thanks, you two. I might need some time alone to myself for a while. Just to think about things, how I'll go from here, that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm not quitting, Bella. Don't give me that face.
There's no face at all. I don't have a face. No face. Face off. Only a poor imitation of puppy dog eyes, if you could call it this one.
You promise?
Oh my god, those are puppy dog eyes. 100%.
I'll be damned if I break any promise I make to you guys.
I love you, Zach! Oh my god! I love the character development in this game. It's not much, but I'm enjoying it.
Besides, you're right. It's too early to say anything right now. What's night ain't for another week?
Yeah, that's all the answer I need from him. As sentimental as it sounds, there's fulfillment in knowing another person you know won't take the same path you've walked. It's not like it's over for me, though. Did she quit something? I want to check. I don't have anyone else's profile. Oh, right, she was in fine arts and she gave it up to... Right, I forgot. Oh. Oh, sweetie. Oh, I feel so bad for you. I still have time. I could come back. Do my own thing. Do what I really want to do. And yes, you can. You're 26. You got plenty of time. I just turned 31 years old, and guess what? I am just now starting to get into the acting field. I'm doing some voiceover work. It's nothing huge and major, but I mean, like, I'm doing, like, audiobooks. I'm auditioning, for, like, websites to be in, like, indie games and things like this. I am working my ass off trying to get into my chosen field. And you know what? It's hard. It is really fucking hard to do it. I quit my regular job so that I could focus on this because I got a little bit of an inheritance recently, and that was the toughest time. And God, I'm really resonating with Isabella here because, although it's for a different reason, I got a little bit of money from, sadly, my uncle's passing. And I did some nice things like this for my friends. My friends who were there for me and supported me when I needed it the most. My friends who let me crash on their couch when I went through one of the toughest times of my life. Yeah, those people were the people that I rewarded for being my friends. And I shouldn't say rewarded. I helped them with just, like, being nice to them and buying some, like, a nice dinner. I did that because I wanted to, and I enjoyed it. And you know what? You can never give up on your dreams, kids. I know this is a weird time to say this, but never give up on your dreams. Whoever's watching this, who's ever doing this, you have your entire life to devote yourself to your dream. I knew a man who was a doctor until he was in his 70s. And when finally he lost his steady hands and couldn't do surgeries anymore, he retired. And he went into the acting field because it's something he wanted to do years ago. And he acted. And he was an amazing actor. He went to the same university as I did, and I was so proud to call him my friend. I don't know whatever became of him because it's been many years since I was in the university. But, you know, it always stuck with me that you can always, no matter what your age is, you can do it if you put your mind to it. There are always limitations, there are always difficulties, but if you want to do something, you can do it. Because human beings are fucking stubborn and stupid, and we will do whatever we believe we should do. So, never give that up. Anyone aspiring to anything, never give that up. I am sorry for going on such a tirade. Now we're gonna go back to the scary shit. Surely, once Papa recovers, once I'm done with everything. Inside my bag, my phone buzzes unexpectedly, breaking the pleasant afternoon lull. Oh, it's Rose. Screen shows Rose.
Hey, Isabel. You at the office?
Ha ha. Very funny, Rose. I'm hanging up.
Don't, I'm kidding. BRC says the floor plan copies are ready for Miss McCullough to pick up.
She states that as if it already explains everything. Then, out of the blue, she launches a long rant about an awful state of Luxborough's streets. All of which she says in a single breath that I can barely keep up with and make a single word. I stay quiet, if only to avoid becoming the next object of her frustration. She's similar to Becca in that regard.
I'm stuck in horrendous traffic right now. Bloody stupid drivers.
Yes, bloody stupid drivers. How dare they? How dare they be bloody and stupid? I'm sorry. I apologize for that accent. No, I don't. I love this accent. It's like my favorite. Although, my absolute favorite is my Russian. I am very good. Yes, it sounds fantastic. This isn't the place to show off. I'm reading a story. Let's go. When she has finally run out of things to complain about and stops, what she says next still has none of what I'm hoping to hear from her. Just a quick mumbled plea for me to meet the Wright's interior designer in her stead. And
Anyway, I'll leave it to you. Bye.
Okay, bye. Classic Rose. She ends the call without even asking for my input. Did I skip something? No, I thought I skipped something. Okay, journal updated. Timeline. A day after the open house, the Wrights were seen securing the mansion's purchase of Briar Realty Luxborough's office. Parties involved in the transaction were surprised at how fast it went, but agreed it was to be expected when dealing with influential people like the Wrights. Happy over the sale, Isabella Santos treated her friends to lunch. The sky is cloudless, and the noontime sun is beating down on the hard concrete when we leave the cafe. That is not noon. That looks like late day. It's far from unbearable, but it's enough to put most people in a fickle mood or make them vulnerable to catching something. No wonder we have staff members going AWOL lately, not to mention my boss's mercurial moods. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I want our usual cloudy weather back. For all the gripes about the unpredictable weather, though, the streets of Luxbourne... It's Luxbourne, right? Luxbourne? Luxbourne? Luxbourne. Yeah, Bourne, like the Bourne identity. Luxbourne remain constantly busy. The hurried tapping of shoes against the pavement and inane chatter coming from the lunchtime crowd fill the humid afternoon air. Small reminder of the things we still have to do, regardless of how much I want to return to the comfort of my bed. Back to Briar Realty for me, Zach to a meeting with a magazine publisher featuring luxury houses, and Becca to her lesson plans and books at home. But more than once, I catch her sneaking a longing glance at something displayed on a shop window. Does she want to buy something? Well, maybe I can get it for her for Christmas. I turn my head at the last shop she checked out. A fleeting glimpse. The world stills. Oh! Oh! I was not expecting you! Hello, miss. She looks at me, eyes hollow, gaze piercing, and boring into my very soul, like a set of chains to keep my whole body still. There's no shadows or whispers this time. Only a plea. A hum, low and indistinct, compelling me, beckoning me, intent on dragging me to the void beyond the glass. Lady, I would like to, but you were the one who was trying to kill me earlier, so I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't dare move. My heart hammers against my ribs, each beat, every thump screaming at me to look away and make a run for it. But I can't. Yes, you can! Move, woman, move! I couldn't. All of my limbs feel heavy, while my own breathing strains in the face of her calls. Oh god.
Leave me alone.
Her mouth is stretched into a wide grin. Wide and unpleasant. Panic building up in my chest forces me to take a tentative step back. I try not to stare at the decaying flesh, the blood streaming from the gaping wounds on her arm and her nailless fingers. I don't want this. I didn't want this either. Not like this. Not like this. Not like this. Not after I got what I want for Papa.
No, stop. Leave me alone.
Ah! Her confused torso, she lets out a wail, sharp and utterly unforgiving. Rage. There's only hatred and bitterness, as if the very notion of turning away from her is an offense in itself.
Please, I don't want this.
Before I know it, I'm stumbling backwards, my own throat hoarse from the screams I didn't even notice, already coming out of my mouth. The back of my feet catches a loose stone, sending me sprawling to the ground. The resulting pain completely jolts me out of the haze, blurring my vision. For a little while, my surroundings appear unfamiliar until Becca's face swims into my vision. A look of concern is on her face and her hands are gripping my arms tight. Even Zach appears beside himself with worry while he stands behind her, acting as a shield against the small crowd of onlookers already forming around us.
What happened?
I saw a crazy ghost lady in the shop window. I was trying to buy you whatever you was looking at, but I don't think I want to buy that for you. I mean, unless you secretly want a creepy, crazy ghost lady that's trying to kill you. If you want that, you have issues, girl. But I don't think you want that. You probably wanted a purse or something.
Bella, you okay?
No! My mouth opens and closes, nothing coming out. The words refusing to form. On impulse, I seek a glance at the display window. She's gone! Good. Yet the foreboding feeling hasn't left me. My hands are shaking as I push myself off the ground, my weakened limbs relying solely on reflex and muscle memory. Something icy has made its home at the pit of my stomach. I want to throw up. Anything to get this wretched sensation out.
You were screaming.
I noticed.
Zach, call someone.
No, don't. I'm good. I'm good.
No, you're not!
I need to get to the office. Rose, the floor plans. Someone's going to pick it up. I'll see you later.
Careful. Don't stand up yet. Stay put, Isabella. Zach, you watch over her for me. I'll call for someone.
Call Ash. He'll help, I think. Okay. Oh boy. After a pleasant lunch with Zachary Steele and Rebecca Gales, Maria Isabella Gracia Cruz Santos received an urgent call from Rose Cooper, asking her to meet the Wright's interior designer. Left with no choice, she hurried back to the BRC. On her way, on one of the shops she passed, a familiar smile greeted her. Oh joy. I attempt a smile to put her at ease, but it comes off as a grimace. Gently, I pushed her hands off my shoulders. My knees are still trembling, but I can stand. Leave! Leave me! Stay away! Away! The humidity's stifling. Everyone's stares are unnerving, and Becca and Zach's concerns are suffocating. I don't want to be here. No more. I break into a run. Wish I hadn't left my bed this morning. Apparently it's always 5 here. Here, with only the occasional drips of water on the sink and the whirling of the fan blades to keep me company, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negative thinking. Did I not go back to the office and give the lady the things she needed? But even with the clutter to keep me company, the room still feels a whole lot bigger than usual. Hug my knees closer as a group passes by outside. Loud. So loud! If only there was a way to tune everything out, to keep my head from replaying every image, every sound of her. Her screams, her awkward gait as she reaches for me, her bone-chilling smile, her pleas for... Enough! That's enough! A shiver passes over me. Though it's not from the hair still hanging damp against my back, nor the draft that enters the room from the windows I left wide open. Oh boy. My gaze shifts over the letter sitting on the coffee table, its edges fluttering innocuously as the wind touches it. Funny how an ordinary-looking piece of paper can bring this much trouble. The impulse to throw it away or rip it to pieces is still there. I can easily do it, but after that, what? Will she leave me? What about those people who have already seen it? Will they be okay? Probably not! This uncertainty gnaws at me, knowing that she's real and might go after the people I care about. I just wish someone would listen. Believe me! The abrupt break in silence nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Blindly, I fish out my phone from under the mess of papers and cushions where I've carelessly thrown it before taking a shower hours ago. Ash's name flashes brightly on the screen. Is he calling because of this afternoon?
Thank you so much for spamming my inbox, scaredy cat.
Hey, Ash.
What's wrong?
I just had a long day. The couple who bought the house wanted us to finish processing the papers within the week. It's a little hectic, but we'll manage.
Really? You sold it?
Don't sound so surprised. I told you, you don't stand a chance. The Wrights won't take no for an answer. You've been on the losing end from the very start. Ha!
Whoever said I was interested in the house in the first place?
But you said...
Despite his light tone, his snicker only comes off as annoying to my ears. I have to fight the urge to end the call right then and there. Stupid asshole.
You're such an ass.
Yes, he is.
And just so you know, I'm not treating you to a separate celebration. Or ever.
No, that's just unfair. And here I was looking something up for you. Didn't you say you wanted to talk to Andrew?
I pause. I did say that, but I didn't think he'd actually go through the trouble, considering how he scoffed at the whole topic in the first place.
Is he okay with that?
Totally. Besides, I need to ask him about something. I might as well do it soon. What do you say you come with me tomorrow morning?
Well, there's no harm in it, I suppose. I've got a free day anyway.
Great, I'll just pick you up. Don't oversleep.
Don't compare me to you. I'm not the one who sleeps like a rock.
Another round of chuckles come from him. Oh, I will live for the day he'll stop making fun of me. Just you wait, you asshole! I'm sorry, but every time she says asshole, the craziest imagery enters my mind of like, literally like, asshole, like, yo, you smoke a cigarette, you tip your ash into an ashtray, except for the ashtray is his face. I don't know why. Just like putting a cigarette out on his face. God, what's wrong with me? God, what is wrong with me? But yeah, asshole, that's what I always think of whenever that comes up. Weird, I know. As I'm about to end the call, he clears his throat.
And, Isabella?
His sudden dissident tone sends my eyebrows shooting up into my hairline. Is the world ending today?
Yeah? Did you forget something?
Do you think never mind. Good night.
Yeah, he definitely has a thing for her. But Becca has a thing for him. He hangs up instantly. Rude, completely rude. I didn't even get to thank him. The busy tone, though muffled, echoes through the receiver. No one is saying this will work. Even I'm doubtful it will. But right now, I'll take anything. Anything to get out of this nightmare. Sleep comes easier tonight. And for the first time in a long time, I dream. Of clear skies. Of unrestrained laughter from children playing in the streets. And of small, cramped dwellings. To an outsider, the sight does not paint a pretty picture. However, this is home to me. October 23rd, Sunday. Cool, I get to see the professor. Aston Frey reminded Isabella Santos of their meeting with Professor Andrew Clark tomorrow, a respected professor with a doctorate degree in sociology. As a former researcher specializing in ethnography and psychology, Aston reassured that his friend can help her with her worries regarding the mansion's rumors. Can he, though? I'm a little skeptical about that. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Though the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends where I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it wasn't for Ash's call last night, I'd probably sleep in. When 9 a.m. rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair's a disheveled mess, eyes drowsy, and overall looks like he hurried to get out of bed. Or fell out of it. Or both. Both is good. He looks adorably rumpled this way. But I'm not going to tell him that. It'll only bloat his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
He makes a motion with his finger around his ear. Tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers me with a slight raise of his hand, a yawn, and nothing more. Ash has been replaced with a clone. Hit him up the side of the head with a 2x4. He has never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that, I'm thankful to every god in the universe less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. Weird how she is Roman Catholic and she thanks every god in the universe. She should just thank God like she's been doing for the whole game. Like little inconsistencies in writing are a bit weird, but it's not that bad. Ha! There's a reason why mornings are my favorite. Doesn't take long for us to reach our destination, the small cafe situated in Luxborn's busiest street, the same one I'd often visit with Becca for cheap food. We're going to Zarbucks again? I've never gone here on Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekday and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back home, near the university I used to attend. Wonder what happened to it. It was being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place has always had a calming effect on me. But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, anxiety washes over me as soon as I step out of the car. Quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, thanks to my work, but still, I don't know him. In spite of the fact that both Ash and Becca have vouched for him, what will he think of me and my story? What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw in a breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant steps forward, and then Ash suddenly pulls me back by my elbow.
Hold on, scaredy cat, not too fast.
Without warning, he flicks my forehead. Hard.
That hurts! What was that for?
He's already walking away when I look up, and I hurriedly catch up to him, puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. So rude!
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything.
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were okay last night either.
Huh?
What was that last one? Hey! Don't just ignore me.
All questions and retorts die on my mouth. They say, like, on my mouth, but it should be in my mouth. But either way, small typos like this, they're kind of numerous. I've noticed them throughout the game, but they're not, like, you know, they don't break the immersion for me. They're a once-in-a-while thing. All questions and retorts die in my mouth once he opens the door to the shop. A cast-iron bell attached to it chimes softly, announcing our arrival. The smell of freshly brewed coffee welcomes us as soon as we step in. Welcome to Zarbucks, home of the Czar Shakes. Can I take your order? Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for the patrons. But most of the customers have foregone them, in favor of the more comfortable throw pillows and beanbags the staff has laid out on the floor. Becca would love to know they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining about how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window, where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and a book.
Professor Clark.
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
Detective Inspector? He's a Detective Inspector? That's a bit of a higher rank than I expected. I didn't know he worked for the police, although that would make sense. The guy, Andrew, looks up from his book and gives a smile. A sheepish look crosses Ash's face as the older man's admonishment. More unusual, in my opinion, is seeing him appear like a parent has just scolded him. But it suggests a familiarity between them, one that goes beyond what someone expects from a simple student and mentor. With another warm smile, he gestures for us to take the empty seats opposite him.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time, but I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here. I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
Soon enough, a waiter brings us 2 more cups and sets down a basket of pastries.
Aren't you going to introduce the lady?
Ah, right. Sorry. Isabella, this is Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
That is insanely rude to say to a person!
Filipina, actually. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
I mean, like, seriously, if I said hello, My name is like Josh Cruz. Oh, so you're some kind of Hispanic. What Hispanic are you? That's fucking rude. That's exactly what that guy did.
Ah, your name carries a lot of history, Miss Santos. Just Andrew is fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
Doesn't listen to anyone, more like. The awkward tension typically present in first meetings dissipates after that. I was expecting someone strict and, to an extent, someone severe. But Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what I have in mind. The more personable kind, similar to a grandfather who dotes on you at family gatherings. It's obvious why Ash has taken a liking to him.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with. Let's hear it then.
Ash gives a hesitant glance, I give Ash a hesitant glance, but he just nods and gestures toward Andrew with his head. He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell, after all. I'll keep it short and concise. I found a letter in this old mansion, and now I'm cursed. Exactly as I have told Ash and Zach when they asked about it. I didn't mention the name of the place. No use, saying it now that someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my problems.
I'm sure it's that letter I found, but I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Anslem Village, aren't we?
How did you...
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating. It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me.
Oh, God. Everyone associated with that mansion dies! The people, as I said, colleagues that went there that have gone missing, and now this guy has died young. Jesus.
Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history.
They do.
And it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing. In the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
My head is starting to spin from all this. I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. It's still too much to take in at once. I look to Ash for help, but his eyebrows are drawn in a frown. If he keeps staring like that at his cup, I'm pretty sure it'll crack soon.
There's still something you're not telling.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights. Then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Rights? Luke and Hannah, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
Ah, I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want when they set their eyes on it, from what I've heard. Word gets around.
A heavy sigh escapes my lips. Popular for naught, they're just my clients, albeit a little pushy, but just clients. End of story. I'll be nice. I know you're trying to help. I'm doing good with Ash and Marianne. I want Becca to like me again, though. What is it again that Becca does when handling with a particularly difficult child? The pesky annoying kind. I wish I could remember. Could certainly use the same trick right about now.
Ashton, look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed. The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
About a week from now? It depends on how long the papers will take, but they want us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent, If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
What? Why? It's my job.
Oh, Lord, even my younger siblings aren't this difficult to deal with. Then again, Ash is far from a younger sibling to me. If you'd only spell it out, surely I'd understand. We wouldn't even have to talk about it right now. I mean, like, I also want to know why he says don't accept it. It doesn't make sense to me. That's how it is, right? Find an even ground, talk about it like the adults we are. It wasn't like this before. But somewhere along the way, something has changed in us, as people, as friends. Or is there a way I could tell when or why? Instead, I'm searching blindly for reasons. The next thing we know, we'll be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids, settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
That is, not true. Lots of things were solved by shouting. Like, the walls of Jericho came crashing down by people shouting. I'm sorry, I was reminded of a religious story because of, you know, all the religious motifs. Look, there's a cupcake with a cross in it. I would never eat that cupcake. Is that a clown head? Is that a clown head in that case? In a cupcake? I would not eat that cupcake either.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite. I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much about that.
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of the conversation, Ash looks like he's praying for the ground to swallow him. He's never been one to talk about himself. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I've gleaned over the years. He's an atrocious singer, he's bad at art, and he has a personal vendetta against mornings. Yeah, I agree with him. Fuck mornings, man. Now it feels he isn't that hard to figure out after all. It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. But before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice. Just keep in mind that when it comes to cases such as this, they aren't always what they seem.
Naturally, the mansion in the letter was brought up several times during our talk. And though Ash is right in that Andrew offers a different perspective, he has left me with more questions than answers instead. What is she? What does she want from me? Help? She keeps saying she wants help. Is she ever going to leave? Probably not. They all continue to bug me after we've left the coffee shop. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different route on our way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we going?
He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a small, nondescript food stall a little ways away from the movie house. If I wasn't paying closer attention, I would have missed it without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets off the car, should be out of the car, and walks in its direction. Sheesh, if you want to buy something, just say it. No need to make yourself look mysterious. Makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait isn't long, either. Soon he's walking back, holding 2 fish-shaped cones in his hands? Ice cream? A parfait? Cross of the two? By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up any effort to figure out what he's brought. Not that it looks bad. It's actually quite cute.
Here, take it.
I have to move my head back a little when he thrusts it at me to avoid the ice cream and the fruit topping from ending up on my nose.
What's this for?
Oh my god, I want that! That looks good!
My arm's getting tired. 5, 4, 3, 2...
With a wary glance, I take it off his hands. I still don't understand why there's a need for ice cream today. Nevertheless, I take a small bite. It's actually pretty good. Must have shown on my face because he chuckles as soon as I take another one.
Saw the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try. It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
Do I need to have a reason?
Are you really going to ask me that?
Here's the thing with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. Haggle! Of all the people who would ask me that! I'd have expected such a request from Becca, but Ash? Ooh, not at all. If I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with the expression on his face right now. I think he's starting to regret ever buying this.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah, I think so. Yeah, anyway, during the movie, we, that's to say, shit. Should have written down something first.
Get to the point, Ashton.
Right. I'm sorry.
I think he's gonna ask her out. Ladies and gentlemen. What?
I'm sorry for, not getting to the point. I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh! I thought he was gonna ask her out, but yeah, apparently no. He apologized. Good job.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That's all? That's all you're going to say?
What else needs to be said?
You're not still angry, are you?
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
I appreciate the ice cream. I do. I fucking love ice cream. I bite into the cone again. A small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve the heat crawling up my face. It doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at him. Why am I feeling embarrassed over an apology? I have no idea. Not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him, and in that fraction of a second it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. Silence is an awkward company while we finish our respective snacks. There are words for this. Awkward. Tension-filled. What's that thing where, like, two people like each other, but they don't say it to another? Oh, right. Bad writing. There's bad writing between them. For people like us, for understanding sentiments like this. Yet, in this instant, they won't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after. Phrases unsaid still left hanging heavily in the air. The park is not... It's a nice park, but this is weird. They don't look like her parents because she has red hair, blonde and brown, and why? And why? Why is that man in a lab coat? Why is she in a designer suit? Why is she in regular clothes? Nothing makes sense anymore. Like, not that anything made sense in the first place, but, why am I hung up on this? I don't know why. Oh, look, the stock footage birds are still here. Anyway, in this weather, the park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, you mean like her? There are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic baskets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one would catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. Maybe I should try walking home today. Try to get my mind off things. Try to find the words somehow. I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks, Ash, for today.
No problem. Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
Even so, I linger. We both do. A mild, humid breeze brings the smell of dried leaves, warmed earth, and a far-off distant memory. Of false starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people playing the same parts. Funny how all of the days... My brain chooses to remember it now.
Wait, Belle.
Ash exits his car, His strides are unsteady when he approaches me. Or maybe it's in his, uncertainty maybe it's his uncertainty showing. I'm not quite sure. He has never looked uncertain to me before. Always calm, always sure, always collected. He stands a short distance from me, close enough that he's within an arm's reach, but just far enough for his voice to be heard over a decent small talk. If this is what's going on, if this is what it's going to be. He fumbles for something in his pockets.
Here, catch.
Oh, a small bag lands cleanly on my outstretched hands before it hits the ground. I raise an eyebrow at him, and he responds by shrugging and stuffing both his hands back in his pockets. Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait, Papa said long ago. For once, this time I listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, when he finds it again.
My mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said. I don't believe in this stuff now, but if it makes you feel safe since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one to carry around.
Aww. He's sweet. He's sweet. He's an ass, but he's sweet. Perhaps, at the moment, there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. You can be nice when you're trying. Oh, God. But we are definitely at time for this episode. Oh, my goodness. Oh. So, it seems like every episode we have, like, one scary moment, and then, like, the rest of the episode is normal. It's so weird. But at least we're having consistent scary moments. The pacing's a little odd. It's kind of going into this weird, like, I am just betting there's going to be a point when we're all trapped in the mansion. Like, there's got to be something like that going to happen, but I mean, like, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. This is a nice story, and I'm enjoying it, but I'm wondering, like, when it's going to pick up and when the action's really going to get going, because, God, I want to know. But either way, thank you everybody so much for watching. I appreciate you being here with me. Next time, we're going to respond to Ashhole's feelings and try not to be a douche, but at the same time, I'm feeling like you can be nice when you're trying is, like, the best thing. You're not bad after all, or you can be nice when you're... I definitely think you can be nice when you're trying is more like her speed. But, either way, thanks again, and until next time, have yourselves a beautiful day, my beautiful, beautiful viewers.